Hello, sports fans. It's the dog. Hey, I hope Santa Claus was good to you. He was good to us. My daughter and son-in-law Matt hosted the weekend. We had a wonderful time, ate way too much, but saw the kids open up a zillion gifts from Santa Claus, and I hope you had a wonderful holiday as we get ready, as we count down to 2012. Remember I was telling you about racing and Kurt Busch, not one of my favorite guys. He's a whiner, multimillionaire. But he just can't get over the fact that he's got to be arrogant. He's got to give fingers to the media. He's got to just act like a complete idiot. Well, guess what? Roger Penske, one of the most celebrated, one of the most respected racing organizations, said goodbye to Kurt. See you later, alligator, the 22 card. And of course, we all knew, I predicted he would end up with a team, and it has happened. He's ending up with a 51 car. I don't even know the owner's name, but it's not one of the big ones. Therefore, it looks like he's going to go from a contender, Kurt Busch, to a pretender starting in Daytona in February 2012. It couldn't happen to a nicer guy. I've never been a big fan of the Busch brothers, and now Kurt is getting what he's entitled to. What goes around comes around. Can you say 30th or worse? We'll be tracking his record in 2012, but it looks like, based on the resources with this new team, he's not going to be able to compete with the big boys. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy. Well, you know, I have to laugh. The pundits, the media members, everybody said Cam Newton, coming out of Auburn University, would never make a good NFL quarterback. Didn't like his throwing style, didn't really like his style in the pocket, never thought he would do well as a quarterback in the NFL. Well, we're almost done with the season, and guess what? Name a guy that has led the NFL as a rookie in passing yards. Think about that. Name a guy who has led the NFL as a quarterback in rushing yards as a rookie. The answer, Cam Newton. Question A, Cam Newton. Question B, only Cam Newton did was lead the NFL as a rookie in passing yards and rushing yards. Oh well, he couldn't make it in the NFL. Way to go, Cam, to prove those idiots wrong. The G-Men, the Giants and Coughlin, yes, setting up for the big showdown battle next Sunday night. NBC has taken that game, so if you're planning on a 1 or a 4 o'clock game next Sunday for the Marbles, plan on 8:20, baby. NBC has the game if you haven't seen it or heard about it. Giants, Cowboys, winner wins the division. Doesn't get any better than that. Will Tony Romo be healthy? Got a little hand problem? He says he'll be fine. They're going to play for all the marbles this coming Sunday. Winner moves on, loser packs it up. Well, my Raiders, it's been a long time since I can sit in front of a microphone and a camera and say, hey, the Raiders have got a shot. Come on, Raiders, make the playoffs. And how about Detroit? 1999 was the last time the Detroit Lions, when you think of Detroit, you think of cars. You never think of football. But the Lions have got a shot. They literally do, and they made the playoffs first time since 1999. They are a dirty team, aren't they? Speaking of dirty team, go back to my Raiders. Who do you think leads the NFL in most penalties and most yardage off of a penalty? It was the Raiders, led in most penalties and most penalty yardage. The Raiders, once again, showing they don't know how to play clean football either. You know, just recently in high school basketball, kudos goes out to the Newark girls. They had the clash of the Titans, taking on the Waterloo girls, both undefeated at the time. But Newark nips Waterloo by some 14 points. But I remind Newark, what a great season. Keep it going. But watch out for Waterloo. They'll be back. Congratulations to the Waterloo girls for playing hard. Hey, speaking of the quote of the week, I always like to bring up stuff like this on this program. I don't know this young man, but Waterloo boys basketball coach, a gentleman named Ben Rabel, had the quote of the week after losing to Newark in boys basketball by 18, 54-36. I quote from Coach Ramo of Waterloo when he said, this was a winnable game. Lost by 18, winnable game? I love this kid, don't even know him, but I like his style, I like his attitude, and I like his moxie. Hey, by the way, kudos goes out to Greg McNall of the Finger Lakes Times, a sports reporter, who did a great story on Sunday's paper, or in Sunday's paper, on Bob and Kelly Stenzel. In my long history involving the media way back in the WSFW days in Seneca Falls, starting when I began in 1970, I had a chance to become close friends with Bob Stenzel. I interviewed his daughter Kelly, who is an active PGA professional, and she's one of the best teachers. I think she was voted the top 75 or 100 in the entire country, Kelly Stenzel. But what a class operation that family is. So Bob Stenzel and Kelly Stenzel, two of my favorite people, and I never knew, reading the story, that Bob once participated in 7 pro tournaments. Didn't know that. But class people, the Stenzel family, Bob and Kelly Stenzel. Great, great article from Greg McNall. Hey, by the way, what can I tell you about the fact that as we get ready for the NFL playoffs, it's kind of nice to think about college football as well, as all these bowl games are upon us. But I was telling Jimmy before taping of this show, you talk about a term scum bum. Reggie Bush, when he was with Southern Cal, he took everything from Southern Cal's campus that wasn't nailed down. How many athletes in your history of following sports has ever been asked to return a Heisman Trophy? Reggie Bush was asked to return the trophy. He took jewelry, cash, cars, you name it, Reggie took it. Illegally, by the way. He heads out to the NFL, and of course Southern Cal gets punished for his actions. It was great to see Matt Barkley, the starting quarterback for Southern Cal, to hold a news conference in front of the media, the band, his students, and the administration and the coaching staff. Matt Barkley dressed superbly in a suit, open collar, clean-cut kid saying, "I'm coming back." He's coming back for his senior year at Southern Cal. Yeah, they're going to be playing Syracuse, don't you worry, in 2012 in New Jersey, but they think they got a shot, and maybe they do, to win the national title in football. It's refreshing to see a Matt Barkley stand up in front of God and everybody and tell everybody that he's going to come back. What a difference, huh? Talk about point counterpoint. From the bum Bush to the clean-cut Matt Barkley. Haven't followed a story about Liverpool. Yeah, Liverpool, New York, nearby. My dad used to live there years ago. You know, the basketball coach has been there forever, and all of a sudden he gets teed up a technical foul for swearing. He lost it. He snapped. But you know what, folks? He's human. What did the Board of Education do at Liverpool? They fired this guy. I like to think of life as, what have you done for me lately? Okay, let's draw a line down a sheet of 8.5 by 11 paper. Good, bad. Under bad, the coach of Liverpool swore, got a technical foul. They have a 0 tolerance on swearing. I can understand that. But to fire the guy? Did you ever hear of punishing him, maybe give him 2 weeks off without pay? Write a warning letter, put it in his file? But to fire this guy who's been there forever? To me is a little ridiculous. Even if you kill 12 people, they have 2 trials for you in this country. A, you're guilty of first-degree murder, you killed 7 people. B, they have a separate trial to determine whether it's life in prison or the needle. But to fire the guy after one bad thing, can you say Dumb and Dumber and the Village Idiots? Those are the people at Liverpool Board of Education. Hey, by the way, coming up this week, the Dog and Paulie podcast. Coming up Wednesday, a special show. I won't be in the house. Jimmy Senecropi and my buddy Paulie Hellstrom will be interviewing Clark Mockley. Hopefully Steve Wadhams and the assistant coaches will appear, and a couple of his players will be in the studios this Wednesday as Jimmy and Paul ask them about their careers, about their games, about their season, and a whole lot more. That's coming up on the Dog and Paulie podcast. Well, you won't see me, and I won't see you until next year, since I won't be here on Wednesday. I want to wish you all a Merry Christmas. And I know as I leave the airwaves, I pick on my friend Brad Jones for a lot of things, but Brad and myself are close friends. And Brad, of course, in all honesty, does a great job as the head of the advisory committee, working with the Seneca County Chamber, Seneca County Board of Supervisors as the advisory guy relative to the Cayuga Indian Nation, all the issues that are upon us. Brad is steadfast about his devotion to make sure that fairness is there for the marketplace. He is involved day to day on fighting for what he considers to be right. My only request in 2012 for Brad Jones is to consider, like Poker Brad, go all in. Don't be doing some social events, and you know what I'm talking about. Remember, the dog will be watching. But kudos to Brad Jones for all of his effort. Ladies and gentlemen, have a safe and merry and a wonderful New Year 2012. If you're going out with your family and your wife or your girlfriend, don't be stupid, Cupid. Get a DD or call a cab. Until 2012, that's a look at sports my way.